The 839th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your t-shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Get your $25 free bet on the Belmont by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN25 with promo code SGPN25.
Hi-ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 839 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to our friend Rusty Tanakun, who comments on KH Warriors 189 that he thinks Gumby picked too many dogs this time. Something Gumby's never been accused of. We'll get to that. We'll get to that soon because we got to do a recap of how Gumby's doing with the non-UFC events. I am, of course, Kaiser Del Busto, aka Jeff Fox, one of your hosts here for the second half of our PFL breakdown. PFL next week. Don't get excited. It's not this week. We are a week ahead, so we can get all the regional episodes done that we want to get to you. So we'll get to the main card soon. After we bring in the aforementioned Daniel Gumby Vreeland. Hello, Mr. Vreeland. How was this past weekend for regional MMA for
you? Just came out even. The aforementioned card he was talking about, which was the third card we covered. I'm trying to remember what event that was. What event was that he
Cage Warriors 189.
Oh yeah, but I had a 3-1 underdog in the main event who lost by split decision. So we were very close to being up 4 units on the weekend instead of even money. And those are the types of rolls of the dice you're not mad that you took.
No.
Because, you got somebody that close. Sato Ukar was pretty close to pulling that one out. So, no shame in that underdog. We did pretty well across the board. So I believe we're down. I think it would have been down like 1/10 of a unit or something like that. So we're chilling right around 17 units on the year, which on regional MMA, if you could find somebody out there doing better than that, let me know.
Yeah, please. We'll tell those people. We'll tell them instead of telling Gumby. We got some. We're considering this regional. Anything non-UFC. We got some PFL today.
Oh, but they're the co-leaders.
The co-leaders in MMA. Yesterday we did all the prelim bouts, which is basically a bunch of alternate belts for the tournament. So basically, people that were in this weight class tournament today would be welterweights and featherweights, people who lost or missed weight or had something befell them, probably because they were on Gumby's other podcasts, but nonetheless, and then they can't win the cool $500,000. So today are people that are in the running for the moolah still.
With one alternate. We do have one alternate,
except for the one opener. Thoughts on the semifinals we got here for 145 and 170.
I mean, we got a couple of guys who we didn't expect to win the first time around. Like Kikuiri was a guy who I think a lot of people had picked against. Kim and Nathan Kelly's fight was supposed to be close. I don't think a lot of people had Kim. So we got a lot of people who were maybe already overachieved. And I think you're going to wind up with some wide lines on these because of that. But maybe we'll find a diamond in the rough.
I know a person who can find a diamond in the rough. I know someone. The person on the other side of the screen for me. Are you on the correct side today? I never looked at the screen. There you are.
Yeah, I'm on the right. By the way, whoever commented,
you were playing games with me the one day.
Yeah, whoever figured out it changed mid-episode was impressive. When I put one of the graphics up for the ad reads, I flipped them, and Kaiser Del Busto over here didn't even notice.
Nope. Kaiser Del Busto tries not to look at his face too often. People look at my face on big screen TV, which is pretty sad.
Every time I hear somebody tell me that they got me on their living room TV, I'm like, you've got a family, and they were just cool with me being on there.
Yeah, you have neighbors that could be looking in your window. Gumby did a good bait and switch with one of our Underdog Fantasy videos last week. He had a female fighter as a thumbnail, and then right away it cuts to a close-up of my face, and not just my face, a close-up of my face. So even better.
Nailed it. We got 400 views on it. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, exactly. See, it worked. It just shows how base the men are still, right? Oh, there's a woman here. I'm going to watch this video, and then, catfish. All right, we're going to tell you about. Actually, this is over with. I'm not going to tell you about it. Check out. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. The bosses just did a break. They break some Panini Prism cards with DApps. And that was yesterday. So that has already happened. But we always have amazing things going on in the SGPN promo department. So always check out sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Follow the Mothership podcast, all that good stuff. All right. We are headed back to the Nashville Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. Not this coming Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now, June the 12th, 8:30 p.m. Start time is for the prelims. Gumby said the prelims were going to be how long? 17 hours, I think. So this
will be another 20.
Well, when they probably have this really. Wait a minute, the prelims are starting at 8:30. Are they kidding?
Yeah, so
how
you
long
won't
they
see
take
the main
things?
card until midnight.
Yeah,
or there'll be some like post limbs, or I hate that.
I remember those days. I remember when the UFC used to do that sometimes.
I've been to regional fights where the title fight happens and
Yeah.
everybody's like partying in the cage, and then like the commission has to come in and like push them out of the way to watch like 2 1-1 fighters. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here for this.
When Gumby leaves, you know it's bad. All right, so this is PFL 2025 World Tournament Semifinals 1 in Nashville, Tennessee on Thursday the 12th. Nashville Municipal Auditorium. 11 fights. Yesterday you got 6 of them. The prelim portion. Today you got one non-tournament fight card today, which is the Tapology has listed as a prelim. It's Jeremy Kennedy versus Ádám Borics, US versus how dare Jeremy Kennedy.
JBC. Jeremy, British
Canadian,
Columbia.
and I just said he's American. That's horrible. He's fighting the Hungarian Ádám Borics. They are alternate belt at 145 featherweight here. So let's break her down by telling you about Borics first. He is the kid. He's 19-3, 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 1-1 in PFL, loss over his last 3, 5-2 over his last 7, TKO loss in his last bout, 9-2 in Bellator, a regional champ, 2014 pro MMA debut, and I have odds for this one. This is one of the ones, a couple fights have odds, and this is one of the ones. Jeremy Kennedy is JBC. He is 19-6 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. 2-3 with 1 no contest in PFL. He has lost 3 straight. He's gone 3-4 over his last 7. He's not won since February 2023. He went 4-2 in Bellator, 3-1 in the UFC. He has lost to Ádám Borics before. I didn't miss that, Gumby. April 2021, excuse me. He lost to Ádám Borics. He's a regional champ. He's fought at 135 and 155, 2013 pro MMA debut. And yes, he is Canadian. All right. What are the odds? Who you picking?
So knowing he lost the first time, am I going to get Kennedy at like plus 175?
Oh, you're getting the Canadian. Yes, you're getting at plus 163. So yeah, you're right.
Right okay, I was right around there. 12 off isn't bad at all. A little lower than I would have liked, but I'm going to take Jeremy Kennedy. I think he's looked better as of late. If you watch Boric's last few fights, like he's having a little bit of trouble putting his foot on the gas. If you watch the fight with Mads Burnell does a good job of holding him in place and sort of wearing him out. And Kennedy's wrestling is really played up in his last couple of fights. Was it he fought Khaybulaev in his last fight, right? Movlid Khaybulaev, and it was a split decision, and it was a split decision because Khaybulaev seemed to be doing more damage on the feet, but Kennedy was getting a lot of wrestling exchanges and coming out on top. And so like for Kennedy to have done that well grappling Khaybulaev and staying away from the big shots, right? Because that was one of my big reservations with Kennedy in that fight is I was like, man, his wrestling has been good lately, but like, will he stay away from that like deadly striking that Khaybulaev has sometimes, right? Khaybulaev is the one who flying knee knocked out Damon Jackson, like cracked his skull or something like that. And it was like in 30 seconds. So like
made him grow hair.
Yeah. I think that was people in Turkey, to be fair. I think that was the Turkish.
Cracked open and hair came out. Whoop.
Yeah. But Jeremy Kennedy like out wrestled him and stayed away from the big shots. And like, at least one judge saw that he won that. So now we've got a guy who's had trouble with pressure, trouble with wrestlers, has tired himself out recently, and like has kind of had trouble being the guy moving forward, which is, absolutely gift wrap for good wrestlers. So, I kind of see Jeremy Kennedy being the person who sets the pace here. He usually sets a really frantic pace. Like he pushes really well. He's got great cardio. I think his cardio takes over in the rematch here. So I like Jeremy Kennedy. I like him even more knowing he's a dog. Give me Jeremy Kennedy.
All right, you got him. He's all yours. All right, now these people, I want to say they're fighting for a cool $1 million, but no, they're fighting for a cool $500,000. And then what? Next season will be $250,000, and so on and so on. This is featherweight.
They're not running out of money, though. They're not.
No, of course not. No, they are the co-leader of not running out of money. So this is a semifinal at featherweight. Movlid, Khaybulaev. I want to say
Khaybulaev.
Khaybulaev. He is fighting Kyun Kim from South Korea. Hopefully I did okay there, John. 3 5-minute rounds, 145. I guess John only cares about the Romanian ones for some reason.
Correct. He really does care about the Romanian ones.
Kim is Aries, is his nickname. Name me another fighter with the nickname Aries. Do you remember?
Rory McDonald's third nickname.
Well, yes. and he kept giving himself nicknames, which is
right, because it was
not allowed.
Tell me I'm wrong here. It was Waterboy,
Red King.
Or Red King for a second.
Yes.
Then it was Aries, and then I think it was God of War after that. Like he made it lamer somehow by just explaining who Aries is.
yes. He is kind of a boring type of guy. All right,
Waterboy was a sick nickname.
Exactly, it was perfect for him. All right, Aries is 11-1, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 2 straight, both via finish. He's not lost since October 2022. He's fed at 155, 4 years younger than Khaybulaev, 5 inches taller, 3 inches reach. Khaybulaev is killer. 22-0-1 with 1 no contest. 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. You should kill more people if you're gonna make him gonna be killer. You should have more than 9 finishes in 24 fights. Anyhow, just saying. 8-0-1 with 1 no contest in PFL. He was a 2021 champion when they actually were giving away $1 million. He's won 8 straight fights. He went 1-0-1 championship, the biggest promotion in the world. He's fed at 155. 2011 pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro grappler. No odds for either of these fights.
Oh, I got Khaybulaev like -400, 450, somewhere in that range. I'm going to pick him in this one. The big piece for me, like I said, he's a better striker. I was just talking about it.
That's
in that
me.
Kennedy.
That's what I like to say.
Yeah. And when I was breaking him down in that Kennedy fight, he had trouble with the wrestling of Jeremy Kennedy. So maybe we overestimated his wrestling ability, at least defensively, after that point. But he's always been kind of a sharp striker who's, like you said, not a ton of finishes, but dangerous enough on the feet. He's elusive. He's fast. And Taekyung Kim, had a lot of trouble with Nathan Kelly's physicality in his last fight. And I know he won it quickly. So people are going to look at the record and be like, well, he didn't have trouble with it. No, he did. He was held against the cage for the entirety of the, 3-minute fight or something like that, until they separated. He landed one left hand. It made Nathan Kelly all woozy and he went in for the finish. And so yes, it looks like he picked up a really good quick win over a pretty good opponent in Nathan Kelly, except for he didn't look good until he did. And if your only hope is a home run swing with your left hand, Movlid Khaybulaev is probably not the guy you want to be fighting, because as I just mentioned, he's pretty elusive. He's pretty hard to hit. He does have some offensive wrestling in there when he does decide he wants it. Obviously, again, the defensive wrestling maybe not what we thought it was, but I think he's got a pretty easy path here to beat Taekyung Kim. He's just got to dance, hit him from the outside, make sure he doesn't get hit with the counter.
I think you're arguing with imaginary people there, Gumby. People in your head. People are saying this. No way. You're arguing with
people are saying what?
You're saying people are saying that. No, you're arguing with people saying that.
You don't talk with people about PFL. I mean, they did say that was an easy win. Yeah, people would say that he won in 3 minutes and that was an easy win.
Who are these people, Gumby? Who are these people you're hanging out with?
The people who fill out the Tapology polls.
That's true. It's probably true. It probably is the same type of people. All right.
Yes, correct.
Nothing wrong with those people. That is our fan base.
If you guys are out there, we love you.
We do love you. We also love Edge Boost. I love a smooth transition. Edge Boost is the first ever bet account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. You earn cashback rewards and 100% approval for all betting deposits all over at Edge Boost. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with their promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And it's time for Gumby's bonus underdog pick and play. Underdog is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. All right, Gumby, what do you got for us?
I'm going to take the higher than on Chet Holmgren's 3-pointers in game 1 of the NBA Finals. That takes place on Thursday. They've got him right now only projected for 1.5, and the higher than is a 1.12 multiplier. So
nice.
they're even fading it to the under, or the lower than rather. And that's crazy to me. I'll take the higher than on Chet Holmgren's 3-pointers every time on that.
All right. You should also take every time our promo code when you sign up at Underdog Fantasy. That would be MMA SGPN. That way you get to claim a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credit. So owner.fantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. We are brought to you by NYRA Bets, aka Naira Bets. Bet the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga with Naira Bets. Sign up today using promo code SGPN25 and get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just getting started, NYRA Bets makes it easy to jump into the action. This exclusive offer is just for the Belmont Stakes, so don't wait. Join now and claim your free $25 Belmont bet today. nyrabets.com/SGPN25. All right, we are off to this fight I have odds for some reason. It's very strange what odds have come out and what have not. So this is a welterweight tournament fight, semifinals to be exact. Logan Storley, we were talking about him on yesterday's episode. Masayuki Kikuiri, he's from Japan, so U.S. versus Japan, 3 5-minute rounds. Kikuiri is 11-2-1 with 8 knockouts. He's been knocked out once. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 5 straight, 3 straight via TKO. He's not lost since December 2020. 2-0 in Bellator, RIP. Used to fight at 155, 3 years younger than Storley, 3 inches taller, 2 inches to reach on him. Storm Storley is 17-3 with 9 knockouts. He's been knocked out once. That is durability. 2-1 in PFL. So 2 straight and 3 of 4. 10-2 in Bellator, and the former champ there, well, it's dead now, so everyone's a former champ, but he was a champ, then lost the belt. RIP to you, Bellator. 2015, a pro MMA debut. He was a 4-time All-American in wrestling in college and the bronze medalist in the NCAA championships the 1 year. And I'm not telling you odds for these people. Gumby, you're going to tell us odds, and then I'm going to tell you if you're right.
My turn. So I'll say Storley -275.
Minus 315. So yes,
okay, so
you're in the range.
A little steeper than I'm only 75 off.
Yeah,
as long as I'm 2 digits off, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take Storley even at that number. Kikuiri, well, look, he's got pretty good grappling, to be honest with you. And if you look back at his fight with Hernan Tirado in Bellator, like he did a pretty good job at the end of that fight grappling. But like if you look at all the early attempts, like he kind of gets stuffed a lot. He kind of winds up in the worst end of the cage exchanges and stuff like that. And so like his best attribute is clearly his grappling. And, against the guy like Tirado, who is undersized for the weight class he was in, like he was in the bad positions until Tirado tired out. And so Kikuiri is a good grappler. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he's not Logan Storley, right? Logan Storley went in there with Joseph Luciano, knowing how good of a grappler he is, and he just wasn't afraid of anything. And like the thing about Storley is just like how high of a level of wrestler he went to Minnesota, right? Am I wrong about that?
I can check in 1 second.
I want to say they were calling him like Baby Brock for a while.
Oh yeah,
because he was a Minnesota kid, and like he's kind of built like Brock Lesnar, only at 170 instead of 285 or whatever. Brock.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Minnesota guy. So like a super high level wrestling there. And if I'm not mistaken, all American accolades too. So like
4-time.
Super good wrestler. So like you're telling me you're going to match him with a guy who's got some pretty good MMA grappling when he tires his opponents out, and you're going to put him in there with like a 4-time All-American from Minnesota, who's shown like really high level of like transitioning that to MMA too, right? Like Storley is not just simply, I was a good wrestler in college and haven't figured out how to use it. He's like figured out how to blend everything together really well. I think he's just going to dominate this one, whether that be from stuffing Kikuiri and forcing him to box, whether that's going to be from taking Kikuiri down and putting him on his back where he's not used to being. I think Storley wins wherever he wants to.
Storley's from South Dakota. Maybe we can visit his hometown when we do our Dakota trip that we're going to do. Remember?
Oh yeah, CFFC in North Dakota, Newtown, North Dakota this week.
Yes, exactly. Hit it up. All right, he has got Storley over Kikuiri. No dogs there, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Co-main event time. It is at a featherweight. It is the other half of the semifinals here. Jesus Pinedo. He is from Peru. Oh, I almost did it again. He is from Peru. Gabriel Braga from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds, 145. No odds here. Braga 16-2, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. Durable, very durable. 8-2 in PFL. He's won 2 straight and 4 of 5. He got a submission win in his last bout. He's missed weight before at 145, so keep that in mind. He's fight down a weight class at 135. He's 2 years younger than Pinedo. El Mudo, the Mute, 24-6-1, 15 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 4-1 PFL and the 2023 champion. So he's a millionaire, or at least he got $1 million and a big fancy check. He's won 4 straight fights and 8 of 9. He went 1-1 in the UFC. He's got multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get all our merch at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He is missed weight before at 145 as well, just like Braga. Used to fight up a weight class at 155. 2013 Pro MMA debut. 3 inches height, 2 inches of reach advantage over Braga.
Did you miss the important part?
Oh, no, I did. I didn't even know, so I didn't miss it.
This is a trilogy fight. Not even a rematch. This is a
people are going to hate me for this.
Yeah, this is a trilogy fight. Braga won the first one by split. Pinedo won the first one. I think it's a doctor stoppage. TKO. But like, so for official odds, yes, I'm gonna guess Pinedo 175. Negative 175. My guess being there is that like Braga did win one of the 2 exchanges. He's ultra dangerous, so like they're not going to let Pinedo's odds, shoot way high. Yep. But I'm going to go with Pinedo because look, he looked sharper in both of the fights. Clearly, it's like Gabriel Braga's power versus Pinedo's. I mean, he's got power too. It's almost wrong to not say he's the powerful one, but like he's better at picking you apart in dismantling you, and he's more fundamental. His cardio is better. He cuts better angles. He's crisper with his striking. Like I just like, if we're going to be in a fight where these guys are so used to each other, and really like when you handicap people who know each other, right? Historically, particularly in longer fights, like 5-round fights, when you're talking title fights and like the UFC and stuff, but even in these 3-round fights, when people have seen themselves over and over again, it is more likely for the later fights to go to decision because they're familiar with each other's game. They stay away from the things maybe they got caught on in the earlier fights or things like that. And so like Pinedo is most likely going to be better at staying away from Gabriel Braga's bombs and being away from the stuff that Braga does to finish fights. And so knowing that, I like Pinedo's chances to be the better of the 2 stand-up strikers here and win the fight that way. So give me Jesus Pinedo.
All right, Jesus Pinedo is the pick. We'll get to the main event after I tell you about Rhythm, RITHMM. Our job at SGPN is to help you find the best picks, and now we've got a new tool that takes things to a whole new level. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Hopefully people are looking up these ones that Gumby suggests you look up. Do you have another one people should look up?
No, I mean, you got me 2 days in a row. Every time you're putting me on the spot.
I know.
They were the ones who they were the ones who put me on to the trend about how many strikeouts Mackenzie Gore was racking up without realizing the books were lagging way behind. The books were way behind on Mackenzie Gore. Now everybody knows because he had all the strikeouts. I mean, he's a strikeout leader in the MLB right now, I believe. But they were onto it way before the books were. So if you want to get in on trends like that, make sure you download Rhythm.
There you go. And you can get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. And the Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway is on as we speak. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for the entire 12-person league, 6 Double King rooms. Hold the draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo transportation to and from the airport. A welcome party at Legacy Club for the league. Reservation of the world's largest sportsbook with $500 beverage credit for the league. And a 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Contest is on now until June the 30th. You can enter by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals. For the true degens, the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the PFL lines there as well. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And we have gotten to our main event. It is the other half of the welterweight semifinal. Jason Jackson from Jamaica Thad John from the United States. 3 5-minute rounds. Play about John first. The silverback, 9-0, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's 5-0 in PFL. He won his last bout via TKO. He's 8 years younger than Jackson. He's an inch taller. No odds for this fight yet. The ass-kicking machine is Jason Jackson. 19-5, 6 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He went 2-0, or he's gone 2-0 in PFL. He's won 9 of 10, including his last bout via submission. He went 8-2 in Bellator and was the champion there. 0-1 in Contender Series. Who'd you lose to, Gumby?
Jason Oh, we talked about this.
We have a bunch of times, I think. Yeah, I forget too, though. So I'm going to look it up. It was a long time ago, obviously.
I remember it was like season 1 or 2. He lost to somebody.
He did lose to someone. I can tell you that much. He lost to Kyle Stewart, the race car driver.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Stewart. I remember that guy.
He didn't age that well, that loss. LFA champion for Jackson as well. 1-1 the Ultimate Fighter. He has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch at sportsgamingpodcast.com/store. 2012 Pro MMA debut for Jackson. He's got 3 inches of reach over Jean.
Yeah, and Kyle Stewart did really bad in the UFC. I was just looking him up. He went 0-2 and got released, but the losses were to Chance Reencounter and Eric Koch, which I don't remember him ever winning that late in his career. Yeah, that dude was.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, actually, it was his last fight. He retired after that. So there you go. He didn't win after that. So yeah, that's a bad loss. I'm gonna go with Thad Jean. I think he's gonna be a big underdog here. I think like 275. I'm gonna take a main event swing here, and the reason being is that so I haven't seen Thad Jean have to fight off good wrestling. You know, he fought Eric Alequin, Alequin on the regionals. Maybe that was in Bellator. The early PFL challengers, maybe. It might have been PFL challengers. So he got held against the cage for a little bit of there, but didn't give up takedowns. Was doing the right things. Obviously, Jason Jackson is 4 levels ahead of that, right? So it does give me a touch of pause. What if Jason Jackson just wrestles the way we know Jason Jackson can wrestle, and that's terrifying. But also, that shit's really explosive. He does a really good job of getting himself out of places, and I think he's so much faster on the feet. If we watch Jason Jackson strike, it's kind of predictable. You know, you kind of see what's coming. You know, he's a good striker. You know, he wouldn't have become Bellator or PFL champion without it. But you know, his bread and his butter is his wrestling and making sure that he can get to it. And if Thad Jean can avoid that, he's clearly the more dangerous striker, right? He's got knockouts, and a lot of times you see guys with striking knockouts, and you're it's kind of the same thing all the time. They back people up and unleash against the cage, or just have a really good left counter, or, you know, hit that right straight when they set it up really well. He's got knockouts from pretty much every angle of his striking, right? I've seen straights, uppercuts. He threw an overhand right that knocked the guy out. He's got a really wide diversity of strikes that are all dangerous. And I could see Jason Jackson, especially if he whiffs on a couple of takedowns and starts getting desperate, and Thad doesn't have to worry about it anymore. I could see Thad tagging him. So, you know, if this comes in as a big underdog, this is a swing I'd be willing to take. Give me Thad Jean.
All right. What were you hoping the number was at again?
Let's say 275. You know,
cool.
I could see. I don't know how much the books are going to love that Jason Jackson was the previous champ, still the champ. I don't know who's champ and what anymore. But
he was a Bellator champ, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he a PFL Bellator champ?
I don't think so. I don't think.
Okay. Was, no. Okay. So I don't know how the books rate that. So you know, on one hand, Thad is undefeated, so that should pull the number down a little bit. But on the other hand, you know, Jason Jackson's clearly the A side here, so we'll say under 300.
All right, 73% for Jason Jackson on Tapology. So
that's a 2, somewhere in the 2s, unless you're doing, you know, strict probabilistic. But I mean, in terms of transferring it to odds.
Yep. All right, let's recap. He has got John. He has got Pinedo. He has got Storley. He has got Khaybulaev. He has got Kennedy. All right, so who's going to win the finals then? You know who's going to make the finals. Now who's going to win the finals?
So if my predictions are correct and we're looking at Thad Jean versus Logan Storley in the finals, I'm taking Storley. You know, I'm saying Jean could maybe avoid the wrestling of Jason Jackson, but it seems like Storley's on another level lately. So I'd take Storley in that fight. Storley versus Jason Jackson would be a weird fight, though. I'd kind of love that, even though I'm picking Bad Gene here. And then if it was Pinedo versus Khaybulaev, I think I might pick Pinedo on that one. That one's got to look back at the film on Pinedo and make sure he doesn't have holes I'm missing. But I think first lean Pinedo and Storley.
All right, there you go. We shall see if Gumby is correct. You can get at us in the Discord. Hang out with us. Actually, you don't have to get at us. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can get at us in our comment section. That's appropriate term for that. Getting at it. MMA Gambling Podcast on the old YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. SGPN MMA on Twitter. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Get my Substack, win my UFC pick'em contest this week. You can enter with a free subscription at moneymma.substack.com, but get a paid subscription. Be a buddy. Gumby's got another podcast. He has lots of interesting people on it, including this week. He has some interesting people on it. You will find out who they are soon enough. He has lots of things to choose from this week. So check out Top Turtle MMA. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for bonus content, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store for our merch, and of course, underdogfantasy.com and mybookie.ag. MMA SGPN is your sign up code. We're back tomorrow. UFC has a pay-per-view this week. I mean, do you know that?
Yeah, it's great because we're going to see Juliana Pena get crucified.
You would hope so. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Our prelims tomorrow, main card and all the fancy plays on Thursday. Until then, El Mudo, Jeff Fox. I've never been called the mute, but we'll go with it. Storm Vreeland. We'll talk to you tomorrow.